Good evening, one and all. This is Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey, Mac in Hamilton on the West Mountain. We're just about ready to pick up the Lake Ontario Radio Club net here, Sunday, June the 2nd. So we're just waiting for the clock to flip over to 7 p.m. Our host tonight, our very own Bill, VA3IMW out of Dundas. The repeater is situated atop the Mohawk College on West 5th and Fennel.
Good evening, all amateurs. This is Victor Echo 3, India Uniform Kilowatt, Bill in Dundas, and I'm your host this evening for the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. At the present time, this net meets five times a week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on this repeater at 7 p.m. and Thursdays at 7 p.m. on a simplex frequency of 446.125. Now stand by for any priority traffic or a quick one and done. Come now. Okay, nothing heard. We'll stand by for anyone who would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3IMW. Good evening, Chuck. How are you doing?
Hey, good evening, Bill, and all on net and also listening and watching on YouTube. Thank you, Mac, for being YouTube host for this evening once again. Bill, I wish I could tell you today was a successful radio day, but sadly, not today. I was just looking at the QRZ main page, and the solar activity just blew me away. Let's see now. Oh, I don't have it anymore. But it was, I think the A index was 128 or something crazy. So the absorption is definitely happening. And everything was in red. So there you go. I don't think anybody, I'd like to know if anyone did have any success on HF, not UHF, VHF. And I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, Bill, just been playing around, feeding my female mama squirrel, and having fun with that little critter there. And went for a walk. Went to the Center Mall for a walk, and it was rough going there, but it was a lot easier getting back once I was able to slow down and hang on to a shopping cart for a while, and made the walk home a little easier. Other than that, I'm trying to time out the timer, but I just can't. Back to you, Bill.
No, you don't want to be stealing Mac's thunder. That regard. Okay, Chuck. Yeah, I don't know of anybody else that had the radio on today, so here it was pretty bad, and apparently the K index was pretty much off the chart as well, so there you go. But anyways, glad you got out and got your exercise. That's good, Chuck. It probably does help you back in the long run. So I'm just going to mention that I think that I'm going to get a consensus, but we're probably going to go for summer schedule for the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. So I'm thinking of not doing it down on Saturday nights. We're thinking about Monday, but obviously we're going to leave that one up to you, Chuck. So we would just do it Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. As of the 21st would be the last Saturday net, and then we wouldn't start Saturday nets up again till after Labor Day. So as far as Monday, maybe you can see what you'd like to do, but the last couple of Saturday nets have been pretty dismal for check-in, so I think we're going to go to a summer schedule, Chuck.
Yeah, you know, Bill, I've been swirling that around in my head as well there, and I'm willing to take a break for Monday nights. Of course, Wednesday we'll keep going. The AREG net does not stop. It happens every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And, geez, I see, well, there's the June 23rd is Monday, and so is June 30th. So, yeah, maybe the 23rd will be the last one for me there, because the 30th, of course, is the day before Canada Day. And, yeah, maybe I think the 23rd would be the last one for the summer. Well, for the spring, I mean. And, yeah, back to you, Bill.
Okay, well, we'll get a consensus, but I believe that's what we're going to do. So I would do the last one on the 21st, you would do the last one on the 23rd, and then start up again after the Labor Day weekend. Sounds good, Chuck. Anything else before I move on?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but I'll interject if I do. Thanks for doing this one, Bill. VA3CJZ.
Okay, we'll look forward to you doing the accidental net tomorrow night. I'd like to recognize Albert, who's checked in on YouTube, and also Guy has checked in, so good evening to you as well, Guy. Let's stand by and see if anyone else would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
VA3VT.
VA3BT, VA3IUK. Good evening, Albert.
Hey, good evening, Bill and everybody on frequency. Not a whole lot on my end here to report. Just had a bunch of getting stuff ready over the weekend here before I head up north tomorrow morning. Yeah, they didn't even bother with HF. It was just, yeah, it was crap. Couldn't even bother. Couldn't have been bothered with it. But I'm sure everyone had that same problem. I don't even want to bother with FT8. Anyways, we'll hand it back over to you there, Bill. VA3PT.
I don't imagine with that kind of a dealer absorption that FT8 would be any good as well. And I see that Wade has also checked in via YouTube, so maybe he'll check in, a voice check in as well. Okay, Albert, well, safe drive up there tomorrow, and I guess you're all settled into your Airbnb, okay?
No, I'm staying in a hotel for now. We're still looking for a pretty decent, well, a half decent one up there anyways. Still looking, hopefully within a week or two, I should be in an Airbnb. But the hotel I'm in, I'm not complaining. It's got a full kitchen. It's doing me just fine.
All good stuff. Well, there you go. At least you got someplace where you sort of feel settled anyway. But thanks for checking in, and safe drive tomorrow.
Thanks, Bill, and we'll let you continue on the net there, VA3VT.
Okay, standing by for anyone else who'd like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
VA3, that's all. VA3, VE3 is ZJC.
VA3IMW.
Okay, got 4 more to check in there. We'll start with it.
Near listening a while. I want to get checked in. I'll go over there to the tuber and get checked in on that one too, but I just want to say hi.
Okay, I'll hi back in. Thanks a lot for checking. And so I guess you got your grass cutting done today?
No. No, it was too damn windy. It would have been blowing back at me. It was bad enough weed whacking, so yeah, I was cleaning up the pool, getting there ready for the season. If I don't, my granddaughter's going to kick my butt, so it seemed like the thing to do.
Oh, there you go. Well, this was a crappy radio day. What are you going to do with yours? But I guess you can always find something to do, right, El?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, a lot of space out there, so there's always something to do, but, I don't know. Hey, enjoy the day. I would have rather did a bit more sun out there, but hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, to me it doesn't matter if it's sunny or not because I don't get along too well in the sun, but there you go. Anyways, I'm sure you'll be back to grass cutting soon. Thanks a lot for checking in.
All right, Bill, 7-3 to everybody on that. Enjoy the evening, have a good time. We'll leave it at that. VA3IMW.
Okay, Al, thanks for checking in and have a good evening. And I'm glad you got that pool straightened up. You don't want to get your butt kicked. Anyway, let's see what Wade's up to. VA3NCA, V3IUK. Good evening, Wade.
V3IUK, VA3NCA. Hey, Bill, and everybody on net. Good evening. And yeah, not too much. I did get out to cut my grass. It needed it quite a bit. So the back it grows really fast. The front not so much, but the back really grows quick. So had to cut that cut. Yeah, a little chilly out there, but I guess when you're walking around pushing them over, that kind of balances that out. So it wasn't too bad. Other than that, haven't done much this weekend. Just a little bit of reading for work and stuff like that. Other than that, just kind of lazed around. The conditions weren't good enough to, weather and RF weren't really that great to be inspiring enough to go out and do an activation. So we'll see. Maybe throughout the week or next weekend, weather will improve. That's it for me, though. But I did want to make a quick check-in and send it back to you there, VA3NCA. Back to you.
I appreciate that, Wade. Yeah, of course, I didn't do any kind of activation or anything today, and was only on the repeater today. That's about it. So I cleaned up a bit in the ham shack computer room here, and actually looked at something you might be interested. I was looking at BSD, which is an operating system. It's been around for a while, and it's around. I was watching some videos on that on YouTube today. Might install it on one of my old computers here.
Yeah, BSD is it's an original. It's one of the very early ones. Little devil or demon, I guess, technically for an icon on it. It's used in a lot of commercial enterprise stuff because the license is such that corporations can leverage it and not be required to reopen source it. So even though everybody hears about Linux, Linux has a part of its license that basically says if you take this and build upon it, basically building on the shoulders of others, you can't lock it up and sell it commercially without giving it back to the community, which is great for developing Linux, but corporations, they want to squeeze every last bit of profit out of you, so they look for other platforms to build on, and BSD is one of them. It is a very good operating system, though. It has a lot of heritage. A number of our systems, when we buy them, and at one point or another, you're exposed to the management interface, and you're like, this looks an awful lot like a flavor of BSD, and usually it is. Storage servers in particular like to do that. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I used to play around with FreeBSD quite a while ago. Haven't looked at it lately, but it is it predates Linux, but it's a Unix-type clone for sure. It is coming up to some sort of a birthday, I think, if I remember correctly, within the next week or two, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's how it came across your awareness. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, one of the flavors of Unix is back to you.
I've been aware of it for a long time. I just sort of forgot about it, and it popped up in my YouTube feed, so I thought I'd have a look at it. Another one I'm looking at is something called Arca OS. I don't know if you're familiar with that one or not. Just quickly before I go on, have you heard of that one?
Is that a distribution of Linux? I know of one that is basically source package based called Arch, ARCH. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this is called Arca OS, and basically it's the modernization of the last version of OS2. And you get a lot of smaller companies who use older legacy software, so they have this Arca OS so they can run Windows 3.1 in multiple instances of 3.1. So basically your last version of OS2 work that has kernels been reworked to work with modern hardware.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have very, very little exposure to anything OS2 or WARP related. The one sole thing that was ever ever worked in a shop that had the Z-series IBM mainframes, they had this component called an HMC. I'm trying to remember what that stands for. Hardware Management Console. There you go. I pulled it out of the deep, dark recesses. The HMC was basically a computer within the mainframe that you used to connect to the real computer. And for a while there, it ran actual, damn it, the OS we're talking about, Warp. That's what I was trying to think of, Warp. Spent too much effort trying to pull HMC out of the dark recesses and pushed out the information I had about Warp. Anyways, as time went on and we got new IBM mainframes at Mac, they switched out with Linux as the HMC OS. So, anyways, yeah, I didn't really much have any exposure to Warp at all, but that was the one place.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I did. But anyways, I better move on because I got Jason and Mac in here, and I don't want to get carried away. But I go back also to the days of 3270 emulation. So there you go. Anyway, let's pick up Jason and see how he's doing this evening. How you doing, Jason?
Good evening, Bill, and everybody else on net. I'm doing all right. Had some time to myself this afternoon. Finally got the finishing touches on the repair job for that HF multiband vertical, and hoisted her back up in the backyard here. Tested out beautifully. Too bad that the HF bands are absolute garbage.
Yeah, are you on a different radio? What? Your audio sounds different.
Yeah, so this was the one that was in the mobile. This is the 2730A on my SM8 desk mic, and if I sound a little off, it's probably because my sinuses are acting up and have been for the past few days.
Okay, yeah, that would make you a little bit nasally, but no, it's good audio on that. You just sounded different, and I picked up on it. But no worries about that. But glad to hear about your vertical, but you would be doing too well if the way the A index and K index were today. So hopefully that settles down, Jason.
No, absolutely. I've got her on 40 meters right now, listening to somebody on 7275 and just flipping between that and the wires. And gotta say, I'm quite impressed. The noise floor on the wires right now is sitting at about an S5 to S7 at the house, and then on the vertical, it drops right down to an S1, 1.5. So quite happy now that the repair job's done. Took me a few months, but we got her going.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that. Good for you. And yeah, that noise floor can be a real pain in the you know what. But anyway, thanks for checking in, Jason.
Well, thank you for being there, Bill. I'll send it back to you and I'll listen along for the duration. VA3IMW back tonight.
Okay, take care, and we look forward to hearing more of your success stories with that vertical. Maybe that's something I should try in the backyard here. Anyway, let's move on and see what Mac is up to. Good evening, Mac. How are you?
All right, the tail's dropped, and I've got my 3 minutes. Yeah, ton of fun with band conditions being as crappy as they were today. I got the backyard cut and a bunch of other stuff done. So it's amazing how productive you can be when you're not sitting around hunched over the radio. Tamitha Skov has posted a new video yesterday on YouTube. Probably everybody should take a listen to that, at least parts of it. So the solar burst yesterday has unleashed a nasty event on us. If you look at the aurora maps, usually it's green over top of the poles. The last one I saw was red, and in North America dips down south of the southern tip of Hudson's Bay, and dangerously close to us. So I'm interested to see what happens tonight on the UHF VHF sideband net. So we'll see what band conditions on 446.125 and 146.400 does to us tonight at 8 p.m. So that's my little plug for that net. And other than that, I think I would support your move towards the summer schedule following. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Following the summer solstice, that we will then migrate into a Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday protocol. We'll support the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club on Mondays, and then the Burlington Club with 7:30 start time on Wednesday, and AREG on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And of course, rounding out the week with the Friday night rag chew. So sounds like it's all in there, and I think I still have time.
Wow, I don't have to get your egg timer. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it sounds good, Mac. I think that makes sense. That's sort of a repeat of what we did before anyway.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, that's what I recall, but we shall see. And certainly, since it is kind of a collective, we'll certainly look for everybody else's input. If there's other folks that want to see the schedule maintained, then we obviously we're going to be looking for other hands to go up so that other net controllers can come in and spot the guys that may be doing some other stuff. From the same standpoint, I'm considering which nights of the week I will be streaming the net, and possibly, sometimes there are evenings where I might want to stop on the way home if the band conditions a lot, and do a park activation, which might make me late for a net, and YouTube doesn't work with that. So we shall see how that goes. Other than that, thanks for doing this one, and for everybody who has the equipment and the motivation. Looking forward to hear you guys on upper sideband, UHF, and VHF starting at 8 p.m., starting on 446.125, and then migrating down to 2 meters, 146.400. I think I already said that before, but they usually say in advertising you're supposed to say it 3 times, and I'm just 1 time short.
Yeah, if you watch commercials, that seems to be or list of commercials, that's the magic number. But I'm just wondering, Mac, if you ever thought of seeing if the call VA3IMW is available. I am loquacious. There you go. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mac, I couldn't help myself. But anyway, no, I appreciate it, and appreciate you doing the net on Sunday night, and I'm sure all the other folks do as well.
Okay, many thanks. Safe trip to Albert, up and back, and we'll look forward to hearing him back in town next Friday night. And hello to everybody who has joined the live stream. That includes Guy out of Ottawa and our local guys as well. Back to you, Bill.
Okay, Mac. Yep, thanks so much for checking in, and I'm sure they'll look forward to your net, and it's a good check. It gives a chance to test the equipment, and I'm just wondering if how this is going to affect sideband on 2 meters and 440.
We shall see. We shall see indeed. Perhaps that fancy new radio of yours can be configured to receive sideband, so you might be able to listen along.
Think it will after I do the next firmware update, which I haven't done yet. Anyway, Mac, I better move on, see if anybody else would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
Victor Echo 3, Foxtrot, Juliet, November. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu, recheck. VA3IMW.
Okay, I'll just stand by. I'll pick up those other the 2 check-ins there, and then we'll get to you, Chuck. VE3 Foxtrot Juliet November. I'm I think the name there is Colin. I'm not sure. Good evening. How are you?
Yes, a very good evening to you, Bill, and everyone else on the net. And you're correct. The name is indeed Colin. And just turned on the rig 2 or 3 minutes ago, so I've just been listening along. I checked in with Chuck there on, I can't remember what night it was, on this net, Monday, Tuesday, last week. So I sort of would try and see what was going on today. Anyway, yeah, we're all doing not too bad up on top of the hill here, and just been collecting. I must remember and mention it to the wife, but I'm going to be collecting brownie points because I've just finished cleaning up the kitchen. So that should stand me in good stead. Anyway, I was receiving some poor reports on 75 meters and 40 about 2 or 3 days ago, and I didn't sort of check it out, but I did last night, and I discovered that my antenna has decided that it's not comfortable up on top of the tower. It's lying on top of the roof. I'm going to talk to Barry. Unfortunately, I can't. I would like to climb. I can climb, but the wife won't let me. Gives her hairy fits. And the other chap who helps me out sometimes doesn't want to climb, and I don't blame him. Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to maybe get some assistance from Barry, can point out some. Get someone, Barry might be able to name someone who might be able to put it back up for me. So anyway, off the air on HF for a wee while.
Okay, Colin, I'm sure somebody in the club there will give you a hand. We seem to have a pretty good community in this city, and people are helping each other, so I'm hoping that you'll get that back up. Well, with bad conditions the way they were today, you probably weren't missing too much anyway, Colin.
No, you're exactly right. I was on the Transprovincial Net Tuesday and Thursday, 2 to 3, and I had one contact each day when handing over to the next net control. That's how bad it was.
Well, that is bad. Okay, I have to remember when conditions get better to check into that net. Anything else before I move on, Colin?
No, that's about it, but I'll be making a point of making sure I check into this net a bit more frequently, but 73 to all in frequency.
Well, we certainly appreciate that. You're always welcome to check in here. We're a pretty laid-back group. Anyway, with that, I'll move on to Steve. How you doing, Steve? How's that station coming?
It's coming along there. We're getting the stuff mounted to the back of the desk there, and just got to attach a splitter there where my antennas come in there, and put some power to it. So I don't know. We're looking the ETA. I'd say by tomorrow, maybe tonight. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't checked my schedule tomorrow either yet. So if I go in the afternoon, then shift, I could probably do more tonight. But if I'm up at 5:30, then it might not be such a late night. But anyway, that's what I'm up to, and I'll send it back to you there, Bill. VA3IMW VA3IMW.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing a picture of the final results when you do get everything set up, Steve. So, but anyways, it's sounding good, so I'm glad to hear that. And I guess you're expecting your Radtel. Did you order that? Did you order a new one already?
Yeah. So, no update yet. So. get that soon enough, and that'll be it.
Yeah, and don't use chirp.
Yeah, for those out there, yeah, you don't want to use that. If it ain't in the scroll down, you probably don't want to use it. That'd be a good hint.
Yeah, I think that one would work. So anyways, I'm hoping that it'll work out for you. I love this radio. It's especially with my eyesight, the display on it's such a blessing. Anyway, thanks a lot for checking in. Anything else, Steve?
No. Are you talking on that one now?
No, I'm on the base right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roger that. Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Thanks, Phil. Back to you. VA3IMW.
Okay, take care, Steve. Thanks for checking in. And Chuck, recheck. Go ahead.
Oh, very good, Bill. Thank you. VA3CJZ. I forgot to mention earlier that there's an event that I posted on the Facebook AREG page. If you go and the top story is Mac posting the Space Weather Woman video there. Right below that, I posted a copy of an email that I got about a gentleman who's going to be, let's see now, let me read it quickly here. On Tuesday evening, June the 3rd, that's in 2 nights, I'm introducing ham radio to approximately 25 to 30 Boy Scouts, ages 10 to 17, and their leaders and parents. We will be on the air for approximately 45 minutes via 4 stations, including VHF, DMR, and 2 HF stations shown below. So there's the times is for us between 8:45 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. And below are the frequencies and the modes and everything, all the info. I'd highly advise you guys to read that. And if you have time, maybe if you can hear any of the Boy Scouts on the air on those frequencies, they're right in the thing that I put in the post. All the information is there, and maybe you can put a smile on a Boy Scout, and maybe even a parent. So I just thought I'd pass that along. It's in the Facebook AREG page, and right below Mac's video there.
Okay, Chuck. So for anybody that's new, do they just, when they go onto Facebook, do they just type in AREG, or do they have to type in anything else?
Well, if you type A-REG, the webpage should come up, but the full name of the page is A-REG, AREG, and then after that it's 146.430, an amateur radio group. That's the full name of the page. I think it's a little long. I'd even suggest shortening it, but I didn't name it. So yeah, it's pretty easy to find. You'll see my logo come up. It'll say AREGnet. So that's where I am. That's where you can find the Facebook AREG page.
Okay, Chuck. So everybody out there that hopefully conditions will be better by Tuesday. Maybe you can help support amateur radio in that regard. Thanks a lot for that, Chuck.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll mention it again tomorrow night on the Monday Night Accidental Net, right here at 7 p.m. Thank you.
There you go, and you got your plug in as well. Very good. Anyone else from Lake Ontario Radio Club? That come now.
VA3XJ.
V3AXJ. Good evening, Rick. How you doing?
I'm good. Got some sun today. Thought that wind was a little cool. But yeah, I got out for a while there and didn't do too much, but did enough, I guess.
Yeah, very good. Did you get your radio straightened out?
I don't know if he's took it down to Garnet yet. I'm going to have to find out that. I'll see him tomorrow.
Okay, well, I passed along the information that I found in the manual But they may have been aware of that already, Rick, so I'm sure you'll get it back soon.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it, really. I know David's got good work. Yeah, other than that, just going to take it easy now and relax.
Okay, all right. So take care. Oh, Rick, when does the Stanley Cup final start?
I don't know. They're starting now. They're going now, but I think I missed a game. I think they played last night and they didn't play. There's no games on tonight.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, I don't follow hockey that much, but since there's a Canadian team in there, I'll probably keep my eye on it anyway. But thanks for checking in, Rick.
Yeah, I hope Oilers win. They got to play the Panthers next, and that's going to be a rough game.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a Stanley Cup in this country since 1994, so we're well overdue.
You're on that. Hey, VA3XJ, we're going to be, I'll be listening for a while.
Okay, Rick, take care, and thanks a lot for checking in. Anyone else from Lake Ontario Radio Club Net? Come now. Okay, nothing heard. I'll stand by for any last-minute check-ins or rechecks before I close the net down. VA3IMW listening. Okay, nothing heard. I'd like to thank Terry, V3IQL, for the use of the repeater, and just a reminder of Max Simplex Net this evening on sideband on 446.125. I think I've got that right. And I'd like to thank everybody who checked in, and I appreciate that. And this is Bill, V3IUK in Dundas, turning this repeater back to normal amateur 730, and I'll be monitoring for a while. Oh, it's too late, Bill. Well, I was just closing the gate. You got in before it hit you behind, so you're okay. All right. VA3IUK, VE3 every kind of junk. I'm not as fast as I used to be. Hightailing it off the couch. I just overheard you closing things down, calling for last call, so I'm using the rig in the shack. So I've got the antenna on the roof and a lot more power, so you should hear me better than yesterday. Yeah, you're good solid into the repeater. The mic even might be slightly hot, but yeah, you're full quieting. Yeah, and we learned something. We learned ZOE isn't the greatest in parts of the East End. It's fine down towards Burlington Street, but as you come up Parkdale towards Queenston, I guess that's where it starts to flutter out. So I guess, that's the thing about this escarpment. You've got diffraction patterns all over the flipping place. Roger to that, because I go to Burlington on Fridays and I can hit it full quieting from downtown Burlington on just about 5 watts of power. So you're right about that. Yeah, years ago, when my friend John, he put probably the first UHF repeater in these parts, and out in Stony Creek, we were amazed. We got out the topographical maps and calculating this and that. And then, of course, when we had everything up and running, we wanted to see how far we get. We were right on the edge of the escarpment in Stony Creek. And about a mile further towards Niagara than the Devil's Punch Bowl. And we had I think a 48-foot or so, maybe a little higher Delhi and a 4-bay Collinear. Anyhow, towards Toronto, we were consistent all the way out to where the 401 hits the 35 and 115 junction if you're going towards Peterborough.
was unbelievable going in that direction. But the other way, there was a big hump in elevation, pretty well along Limo Road, and then Highway 20 going towards Smithville. And that's where things blocked. And on the south of that, nothing.
Yeah, well, I guess that just proves the theory of line of sight.
Yep. And we could tell that, 10 or 20 feet more in the tower might have made a difference because there was a big difference in summer or winter as the foliage came and went. You get a little farther south when there were no leaves.
Yeah, it does affect it, and even rain can affect it as well. I've noticed that over the years as well too. So, yep, it's propagation is an interesting study, that's for sure.
It got weird at times. The first site we set up was on the Stony Creek Cable Company's towers. They had some towers behind the Devil's Punch Bowl, and the engineer was full duck. It was tickled that us young kids were willing to get so technical at that age and work so hard, and he let us set up our repeater there. Even had a key to get into his building where all his head-end equipment was. But at any rate, you'd think that would be a good spot, but because of the way the escarpment wove in and out and everything else, we were good in Hamilton, and we were good out towards Fruitland, Winona, and Grimsby, but in Stony Creek itself, and you could have thrown a rock from the head end off the edge of the escarpment and probably thumped our local coffee shop, and yet the waves just bounced so much around that we couldn't hit it from a walkie-talkie standing on the street.
Yeah, and then you start getting into multi-path and that, and then things really get crazy.
Yeah, it's just rock just doesn't do it. But in those days, we used to have a lot of fun. My buddy Joe went out on a fox hunt one day. The Hamilton Club was really into those for a while. And the guy who was the fox, he had a warped sense of humor. He just took a beam, but he bounced it off the escarpment. And of course, that sent everybody totally chasing the wrong direction.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that would confuse them for sure.
Yeah, we got a chuckle out of that. It took most of the day before some bright fellow actually figured out what we were doing and managed to, triangulate the path or whatever. Because to everybody else, it looks like we were, bouncing just below the CHCH tower.
Yeah, I used to do those when I lived in Brantford with the Brantford Amateur Radio Club. I miss doing that. I wish we would organize one this year. I think it'd be fun.
Well, there's enough guys, and I kind of think, there's such a big POTA group here on ZOE. Guys used to, roaming around in the outside. Probably could get enough people interested.
I know I would be, and that sounds like possibly you would be. So maybe it's something I can bring up on the Friday night rag shoot, and we'll see. Maybe we can organize one before the bad weather comes again. So maybe something we could do in the summer.
Do you think we're ever going to get a summer? It's been cold.
Yeah, I woke up this morning here in Dundas. Believe it or not, it was 6 degrees this morning.
Oh, you're a lucky guy.
I was thinking if I walked around enough, I might see lawyers with their hands in their own pockets.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, what I smile about is all the green people have been saying for at least 2 months about how we're going to all fry this summer and set records. Well, it don't look like we're in any hurry to get there.
The problem with the green people, they don't want to go back far enough because it would shatter all their things about broken records because I think during the Depression there was a lot of record-breaking temperatures, but they don't want to go back that far. They forget about the big heat wave in New York. What was it, in 1896 in New York City? I forget how many people that killed. Their temperature exceeded 100 degrees. So it just depends on how far back you want to go with temperatures.
Yeah, I think you're quite right there. And I have to smile sometimes when I talk to younger folks. You know, which I'm not used to being able to say there, Bill, but in the 70s, I was working for an engineering company. I'd go out to construction sites and such, and soil compaction tests and concrete samples, stuff like that. And I can remember I didn't see any difference with the weather then than we get now. And there were times when it got well up high into the 90s, they had to stop construction, send all the crews home. And, you know, there was hot times and cold times and snowy times and dry times. No difference. The only difference is that nowadays people think they can pay all those taxes to save the planet, and they don't get mad about it because they just feel good inside.
Roger, and there's enough scientists out there that debunk all this stuff with climate change. But one thing I read just recently, and the reason why the average temperature has gone up according to the climate change alarmists is because records, I forget, going back how far, only included land temperatures. Now they include all all temperatures all over the world, even over the water. And that brings up the average temperature because, as you well know, if you're landlocked and you're not near water, you take places like in Siberia where they get some of the coldest temperatures in the world because they don't have the water to negate the temperature. So that's why in places like Yakuts, in the middle of the winter, it can go down to minus 70 degrees.
I hadn't heard about that, but that makes sense. You know, it makes a lot of sense. You may have also heard about, there was an essay I read a couple of years ago on the net, and apparently when they started keeping weather records and such, this is probably now going back nearly 100 years, they started putting weather monitoring stations around the country, both America, Canada, Western countries, I guess, developed countries. But they tended to put them out in the rural areas. But over the years, what started happening was, of course, that cities expanded out. Little towns became cities, became big cities and such. And these weather monitoring stations started getting swallowed up. And of course, surprise, surprise, it's always a little warmer by a couple of degrees in a city than it is out in the country.
Yeah, because all that concrete holds in the heat. And I know even here that on a hot day, there could be a 2-degree difference between where I am here and say downtown Hamilton, say at Main and James. So absolutely correct.
You reminded me, Bill, of one of the things I miss about not driving anymore is taking my kids and the family dog out for an ice cream. And that dog, that was part of his vocabulary, just say ice or cream. And that was enough to make his ears perk up.
Yeah, great memories from when I was a kid. We lived out in Oakland, which is just a little bit southwest of Brantford. And there was 8 of us kids. Not 8 of us kids, well, 6 kids, mom and was a 10-passenger station wagon because it had the two seats in the back that faced each other. And I can remember us all piling in that car. We'd have the dog as well, and we'd be heading down to Hagersville to get a nice green comb. So, yeah, good memories.
Yeah, Hewitt's Dairy. Still the best as far as I'm concerned. That's what I like about Pier 8. You know, down there by the Williams Coffee Shop, they also have a ice cream outlet called Scoops, and they only use Hewitt's Dairy products. Best ice cream.
Well, it sounds like these guys could go on with the rag chew forever. We're going to bring the nets to a close and also the live stream. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to get all set for the UHF VHF sideband net at 8 o'clock. 7 3s, one and all. That's how we say goodbye.